Hi und herzlich willkommen
zu einem Livestream unter der Woche heute.
Ganz komische Uhrzeit, aber wie ihr es seht auf dem Bildschirm hier links, genau, geht es ja heute um was richtig Cooles.
Richtig, um den neuen Allett Spindelmäher. Und wir haben gedacht, es gibt ja einen Livestream oder es gibt eine Premiere zumindest von Allett. Und wir haben gedacht, wir machen dazu noch einen Livestream. Also bauen das Ganze ein bisschen aus und werden mit euch zusammen diese Premiere anschauen. Worum haben wir das gedacht? Ja, vielleicht habt ihr direkt Fragen zu dem neuen Spindelmäher, wenn er rauskommt. Wir werden euch auch den Spindelmäher dann direkt auf unsere Webseite zur Verfügung stellen. Also das heißt, ihr könnt ihn noch nicht kaufen, aber ihr könnt euch auf eine Warteliste setzen. Das ist doch schon ziemlich cool mal. Und wir können euch natürlich auch noch weitere Fragen beantworten. Wir können auch noch das ganz kurz durchgehen. Das ist alles ja auf Englisch. Von dem her können wir auch nach dem Livestream nochmal die wichtigsten Punkte einmal durchgehen mit euch, wie ihr Fragen habt.
Genau, aber wenn ihr jetzt direkt Fragen habt, dann schreibt sie gern in den Chat rein. Das Ganze startet um 20:30 Uhr, deshalb ich weiß nicht, wie viel Uhr es ist, in wenigen Minuten,
Genau.
10 Minuten geht es dann los. Ich hoffe, ihr seid auch schon richtig heiß, so wie wir. Wie er heißt, wie er aussieht, was er kann, was er macht. Ihr könnt ja mal raten in der Chatbox, was ihr denkt, um was es da geht.
Was für ein Spindelmäher rauskommt. Das ist immer spannend ein bisschen, ne? Und auch, genau, wir freuen uns auf jeden Fall mega. Wird richtig, richtig cool. Ihr könnt euch also gleich drauf freuen. Das ist ein super Teil. Ihr habt ja auch schon ein paar Sneak Peeks gesehen. Erstens auf unserem Account, aber auch auf dem Allett-Account. Genau, so ein bisschen ein paar Punkte zum Spindelmäher. Kennt ihr ja vielleicht schon, wenn ihr das so ein bisschen beobachtet habt. Und der Rest kommt jetzt. Jetzt wird er enthüllt, wie er auch wirklich aussieht und so weiter. Ein Akkumäher mit Ego-Power-Akkusystem. Ja, das ist ja
Kann
sehr, sehr
vielleicht gut
interessant.
sein, ja.
Kann sein. Wir sehen es gleich, ob es auch wirklich so ist. Und wir sind auch mega gespannt natürlich auf euer direktes Feedback. Und genau. Cool, also die erste.
Manche haben es auch schon als der Tschechien-Killer genannt.
Stimmt, das haben wir auch schon gesehen.
Was sich damit hinter verbirgt, wir wissen es nicht, ne, mit diesem Wort. Naja,
Sind wir mal
aber wir
gespannt.
sind jetzt echt gespannt. Bevor wir jetzt richtig loslegen, lasst gerne einen Daumen nach oben auf dem Livestream da. Abonniert auch gerne den Kanal. Das hilft immer weiter, um weitere Rasenvideos nicht zu verpassen. Auch am besten immer die Glocke anschalten. Dann bekommt ihr immer direkt eine Benachrichtigung, wie zum Beispiel jetzt beim Stream, dass ihr nicht verpasst das Ganze, um auch keine weiteren Allett-Videos zu verpassen. Einfach jetzt noch kurz vor dem Stream hier unten kurz abonnieren und dann können wir richtig durchstarten.
Super cool. Und außerdem, bloß dass ihr jetzt Bescheid wisst, wie wir das Ganze jetzt angehen, wir werden das mit euch zusammen angucken, aber wir werden vor allem den Stream oder diese Premiere laufen lassen und werden dann uns vielleicht unten die Kamera machen und uns auch ausblenden gerne und dann danach auch gerne wieder Fragen beantworten. Dabei könnt ihr auch reinschreiben, also während dem Ganzen, und wir können auch gerne antworten. Wenn ihr es gerne auf Englisch macht, könnt ihr es auch bei Allett natürlich direkt machen. Und dann danach werden wir auf jeden Fall nochmal drauf zu sprechen kommen, über unsere Warteliste und wie man es bei uns bekommen kann. Und falls ihr noch Fragen habt und die gerne auf Deutsch beantwortet haben wollt, könnt ihr es gerne bei uns dann machen. Da stehen wir euch gerne zur Verfügung noch. Aber während der Premiere, also während der Vorschau, da werden wir nicht reinquatschen. Das haben wir uns gedacht, das überlassen wir Allett vollständig. Die machen das gut und genau.
Genau. Mal eine Frage vielleicht noch an euch. Wer hat von euch bereits schon Allett Spindelmäher oder wer ist jetzt sich am Überlegen, jetzt in der nächsten Saison mal sich das Ganze näher anzuschauen, seinen Rasen somit aufs nächste Level zu bringen, jetzt mal ein Spindelmäher damit zu mähen. Wer findet das Thema generell spannend? Schreibt es gerne mal eure Meinung unten in die Kommentare rein.
Also, wir haben auf jeden Fall ein Spindelmäher und wir sind da mega zufrieden damit. Also, und für alle, die ein Spindelmäher haben schon, die können wahrscheinlich das Gleiche sagen, mega zufrieden. so ein Spindelmäher macht schon sehr, sehr gute Arbeit. Voll cool. Genau, also wir warten jetzt noch natürlich, bis es losgeht. Ich schaue mal ganz kurz, wie lange es noch dauert. So 9 Minuten noch und dann starten wir hier durch. Der Chat bei Allett hier läuft auch schon ganz gut.
Genau, was ich jetzt hier auch gerade lese, die ganzen Spindelmäher sind exklusiv auf 500 Stück weltweit limitiert. Deshalb, ja,
Wir
limitiert. Genau.
Mehr gibt es nicht dieses Jahr, also nächstes Jahr dann, mehr wird es nicht geben. Und deshalb, falls ihr da wirklich so ein Spindelmäher haben möchtet, dann setzt euch auf die Warteliste, die dann nachher auch verfügbar ist. Und dann könnt ihr euch auf die Warteliste setzen und natürlich mit uns auch gerne schreiben, Fragen stellen und so weiter. Das stehen wir euch zur Verfügung im Endeffekt. Und ja, da freuen wir uns auf jeden Fall schon mega. Gut, gibt es irgendwelche Fragen schon im Voraus zum Spindelmäher oder auch andere Fragen? Gerne natürlich auch Rasenfragen, natürlich noch, bevor es anfängt, können wir da noch ein bisschen was beantworten. Genau, okay, gerade keine Fragen mehr, gar kein Problem. Wir warten ein bisschen noch ab, bis
9 Minuten.
der Livestream dann angeht. Was heißt Livestream? Es wäre natürlich cool, wenn auch ein Livestream aus England kommen würde, aber eine Premiere ist auch ganz cool.
Genau. Ein voraufgezeichnetes YouTube-Video, was da jetzt kommt mit der Produktpräsentation von dem neuen Spindelmäher.
Genau, ich habe derzeit noch ein Akku-Spindelmäher, eine verbesserte Version vom Allett Liberty, wäre cool, noch breit und das Gewicht in der Mitte verlagert. Natürlich, das wäre natürlich mega.
Sind wir einfach mal gespannt?
Seid gespannt, was kommt. Ihr könnt euch auf jeden Fall darauf freuen, das muss ich euch auf jeden Fall sagen. Mega. Genau.
Die Spannung steigt.
Die Spannung steigt auf jeden Fall. Und auch wir sind natürlich gespannt. Wir sind auch gespannt natürlich auf eure Reaktion. Das ist auch immer ganz cool. Und genau. Wie lange ist es noch? Es ist noch genau 7 Minuten. Ne? Der Chat bei Allett läuft auch schon heiß. Was denkt ihr hier? Stimmt mal, oder schreibt es gerne mal in den Chat. Wird es einen 17 Zoll oder 20 Zoll mehr? Umgerechnet 17 Zoll sind 43 Zentimeter und 20 Zoll sind 51 Zentimeter.
Genau, vielleicht haben wir hier irgendwo noch eine Frage.
Wir hoffen, dass ein 17. Oh, guck mal, das ist ziemlich gleich hier. Interessant. Genau. Fragen am Ende. Wahrscheinlich kommen die Fragen natürlich auch, später. Dürft ihr sagen, wann ihr die ersten Geräte haltet? Super spannende Frage.
Später mehr.
Ich glaube, das tun wir später beantworten nach der Premiere, nach dem Livestream. Danach sind wir zur Verfügung und dann werden wir gerade auf die Frage nochmal eingehen. Also behalte die nochmal im Kopf, falls wir die nachher nicht mehr sehen oder vergessen. Dann schreiben wir uns das gerne nochmal rein, aber da werden wir drauf nachher noch eine Antwort geben. Das ist eine sehr, sehr gute Frage. Da kommt nächstes Jahr oder auch dieses Jahr schon ein paar spannende Sachen, die wir euch mitteilen können bezüglich Allett, aber das kommt dann auch alles dann später des Jahres oder spätestens nächstes Jahr und genau. Aber zu der Frage auf jeden Fall später. Jetzt schauen wir mal, wie lange geht es noch? Okay, wir sind noch 5 Minuten. Es werden mehr Leute auch bei Allett. Voll cool, aber voll gut, dass ihr auch bei uns zuschaut. Schreibt mal gerne, wie ihr zuschaut. Vielleicht hier der
Arbeit noch.
Ja, genau. Hier von Allett und hier unseren Livestream. Das kann ja gut sein. Genau. Perfekt. Fragen gibt es auf jeden Fall gerade keine mehr, wie ich sehe. Aber, wie ich schon gesagt habe, die kommen nachher. Ganz sicher. Ganz, ganz sicher. Genau. So.
Die Spannung steigt auf jeden Fall.
Die Spannung steigt. Jetzt fehlt noch der Countdown eigentlich hier drin. Den haben wir nicht mehr reinbekommen, den Countdown. Das beim nächsten Mal dann. Ich finde es richtig cool. Einerseits gut, jetzt wird es natürlich am Ende der Saison präsentiert. Dann kann man sich da auf die nächste Saison schon ein bisschen zu freuen. Und andererseits bringt das Ganze natürlich auch noch ein bisschen Spannung, auch trotz dass die Rasensaison so langsam sich zum Ende neigt, passt das eigentlich voll gut, dass da noch ein bisschen Spannung reingebracht wird von Allett. Und deshalb ist die Vorschau schon super passend. Und natürlich, ja, Zeitverschiebung haben wir auch noch, deshalb ist es noch ein bisschen später wie in England. Das ist natürlich auch, da mussten wir uns auch überlegen, dass wir den Livestream richtig machen, um die richtige Uhrzeit. Weil in England ist eine Stunde früher. Das heißt, wir sind ein bisschen später bei uns, aber das ist doch gar kein Problem. Genau, es sind noch genau 3 Minuten, also wir sind echt kurz zuvor. Jetzt fehlt eigentlich noch, den Countdown fehlt noch und dann fehlt noch so eine Konfetti-Maschine. Das fehlt auch noch, ne, dass hier ein bisschen Party ist. Wir sind hier außerdem im Büro, also das heißt, hinter uns ist nicht so spannend, sonst machen wir unsere Livestreams ja nicht immer in einer anderen Kulisse oder auch draußen gerne, aber das ist ja jetzt nicht mehr möglich, ist ja schon dunkel. Verrückt, wie schnell es dunkel wird auch. Ja, heute habe ich gemerkt, 17:30 Uhr war es eigentlich schon Nacht. Das ist echt verrückt mit der Zeitumstellung. Okay. 19 Leute dabei, voll cool. Kommt gerne rein, einfach wartet ganz kurz. Es geht gleich los. Wir werden dann wahrscheinlich nicht
Abschalten, genau.
gleich abschalten. Im Notfall schalten wir uns dann wieder ein. Aber genau, müsste normalerweise alles nach Plan verlaufen. Und im Chat schreiben wir gerne auf jeden Fall rein. Also da könnt ihr direkt Fragen stellen in Deutsch, falls ihr jetzt genau.
Oder in Englisch.
Oder auch in Englisch, natürlich, das ist auch gar kein Problem. Kriegen wir auch hin. Perfekt, da werden schon die ersten Spindelmäher gehandelt im Chat. Auch interessant. Sehr gut. Aber jetzt sind wir wirklich kurz davor. Der Livestream startet gleich. Und wir wünschen euch dann natürlich auch mega Spaß. 60 Sekunden.
Ich würde sagen, wir schalten uns jetzt ab und dann genießen wir das zusammen und dann spätestens danach seht ihr uns dann wieder. Und dann können wir das Ganze nochmal mit euch genau dann nochmal durchgehen.
Genau, und ganz wichtig, schreibt in den Chat eure Fragen direkt rein und nach der Premiere gehen wir auf alle eure Fragen noch rein. Genau. Kommentieren auch nicht vergessen oder auch vor allem auch liken nicht vergessen noch, bevor der Stream startet. Sehr gut. Also jetzt werden wir uns mal ausschalten.
Hello and welcome this evening to a really important event at Allett Mowers. For the first time we're showing you what we've been working on for the last 2 years, and it's a new higher level mower for the homeowner that is really enthusiastic about their lawns, and also for amateur cricket clubs and bowling greens. The product is called the Stirling, and we have it in two widths, 43 centimetre and 51 centimetres, and I'm going to be unveiling these in just a minute. Why have we called it the Stirling? Because of the heritage of Allett and our tradition of naming our products after British castles and palaces. Of course, this is named after Stirling Castle in Scotland. So I'm going to unveil these products now. For the first time tomorrow, they'll be shown in the flesh at the Saltex exhibition, and we're going to be really proud to show everybody really in the flesh so they can touch and feel these products and see why we are so excited about this new product range. So here goes. You will understand that by the end of this video why we're so excited about these two products, the Stirling 51. 5 years ago we launched our first homeowner battery driven mower, and that Liberty product has become our biggest selling product of all. And of course a lot of that is driven by this battery power. At Allett we really believe that battery power is just so appropriate for cylinder mowing, and this you'll see why with this product we're taking that to a new level. Battery strategy for Allett Mowers is that we believe 25, not that we will stop making petrol mowers, but we just think our customers are going to really understand the benefits that battery brings. We're talking about the environment. I don't need to say too much about that, but by not using petrol engines and having to run petrol around the country in order to be able to drive our lawn mowers is certainly a big benefit. But our customers are loving the benefits that battery brings to cylinder mowing. They're quiet, they're really so much easier to use altogether. They're so much more controllable, and with this Stirling range we've brought our electric drive to a very new level. But it will be very clear for you to see when we look at the product video later what this battery has brought to this new heavier duty, more controllable and more precise lawnmower. Our customers have been asking us for many things on our products, of course they should, but I need you to know that we listen to you really carefully. So we have here what we consider to be a really affordable but highly precise mower, which cuts precisely but also lays down some of the strongest stripes that you will ever see. It's an affordable mower though for lawn fanatics, so it really is a new level of pricing but also of features, as you would expect. We have things that our customers have been asking us for, like lighter grass boxes that empty easier. We've got a bigger battery mower in this 20-inch or 51 centimetre wide machine, because so far we've only had our biggest mower has been 17 inches wide. Now we have 20 inches wide. We have much more quick and more accurate height of cut with gauging on the side so that you know exactly what height of cut you're working at. We have more power than we've ever had before. 2 separate motors, one driving the rear roller and one driving the cylinder. And that extra power has allowed us to deliver greater grass cutting ability, but also more importantly, when we put these cartridges into the machine, then we can get deeper cultivation depths if we really want them. We're using an Ego battery system on this product as well. We've been working in partnership with Ego, both on our handlebars and also on our power drive system as well, giving us more power, a wider range of batteries as well to give us, if we need, much higher mowing times and areas, if that's what you need. The handlebar set is just giving us much greater levels of comfort and control of the product as well, and we separately control the cylinder drive and the rear roller drive. You don't need to have the roller, you don't need to have the cylinder driving in order to drive the rear roller, which again gives greater levels of safety while we're wheeling this around the garden. And probably the biggest feature that our customers have always asked us for is about the cartridge changes. We have some new cartridges and some cartridges which are that are already existing, and those cartridges will now insert and remove from this mower in about 15 seconds, and we don't need any tools whatsoever, and we don't need to remove the side guard. This is really useful in the garden because you now no longer have to consider whether you want to verticut an area quickly, whether you've got the tool and everything else. You just change the cartridges over so quickly. So what I want to do now is I want to direct you to, and we'll be adding on now the video that we've already shot for our product launch and also for the product features. So over to the video now. Thanks for watching our video. Today we're going to be introducing you to the Allett Stirling 43 and 51. This is about the highest level of mowing for the home lawn, but also for bowling greens and for cricket wickets. This is not just about lawn mowing, but this is about lawn maintenance systems, and we will be talking about that in more detail. So hello, my name's Austin Jarrett and I'm from Allett Mowers. These two mowers are for the absolute lawn enthusiast, where no compromise is actually the only option. Where battery power is really important, we'll talk about the environmental benefits of doing that, and where cultivations are done very regularly on your lawn, and we can get a really quick cartridge change to go from cylinder mowing to verticutting and all of these other functions in less than 15 seconds. And that means that I can be mowing and then verticutting in no time at all. And it really isn't a chore to switch from mowing to cultivations. You're also able to go for deeper cultivations within this mowing and cultivation system than we've ever been able to do before. And that is really important again for the absolute lawn enthusiast that really knows what he's doing. By using these cultivation systems, we're so much more able to maintain a high quality lawn without the use of a lot of chemicals, especially when it comes to weed control. Of course, you've got to remember that cylinder mowing is absolutely the best way to maintain a lawn. It really is this scissor cut that we get from the cylinder mower which creates the best possible chance for the plant to be as healthy as possible. And that is absolutely proven. We use cylinder mowers on golf courses and sports surfaces rather than the machete action of a rotary mower. We have a video on that for the comparison of cylinder versus rotary mower, and you do need to have a look at that if you're not quite sure what it is that I'm talking about. But that video should be really helpful to help you make choice and to whether cylinder mowing is what you really want to do. The cartridges are the big thing on this product. Allett are known for the cartridges, and if you want a great lawn, you need to do more than cylinder mow. And that's why we have this range of cartridges, which is so easily inserted into this product in particular, to be able to give us just the most amazing lawn over time. The other thing is, when we designed this product, we said the customers that have already invested within our system here have bought either a Liberty 43, a Kensington 17 or a Kensington 20, and you've invested in this cartridge range, you will be able to, at a small charge, just to make it a little bit of a conversion on your existing cartridge, and then it will fit into this product and give you the great results that you're used to. And you'll get the benefits of the depths that this product will be able to deliver. So we're hoping that those of you that have already invested in our premium products will be able to invest in this, but not have to spend all the money on the new cartridges. So we hope that really helps. The two products, the Stirling 51 is a 20-inch machine, or 51 centimeters. The Stirling 43, as you would expect, 43 centimeters and 17 inches. The weights are, with batteries, with grass boxes, 57 kilos and also 53 kilos. So these machines have good weights, and of course that is so important for getting the really great striping. This is not a machine that you're going to pick up easily to go up and down steps. But what you are able to do is you can reduce very quickly 13 kilograms by removing the battery, removing the cartridge, and then that makes that much more easy to move around if you want to do that. Because the cartridge is so quickly and easily removable, then that isn't a problem, but just bear that in mind. If we start at the very front of the machine, you'll notice that we have changed the way that we are manufacturing the grass box. We hear a lot from customers that they want a lighter grass box, so you're not having to carry all that weight around to empty it into the wheelie bin or wherever. So we've reduced the weight. It's a steel frame and material. The material's got apertures in it, so it allows airflow, and we're getting much better grass box fill by using this, because the air is separated out and doesn't blow back out of the grass box in the same way as it does out of a plastic or metal construction. It's also very quiet. Some of our competitors use metal grass boxes which rattle and drum as you mow and increase the noise levels. And because we're using electric drive, all of these noise things we needed to knock off to make sure that we got the quietest possible mower. So we're getting great grass box fill like we've never achieved before. And this just clips directly onto the chassis of the mower, and there's no grass box hoop or anything separate from that. And it's really, really stable. For emptying, there's no lips around the grass box here, so the grass box can empty, even if at its fullest, straight out into the wheelie bin. And that's no shaking, which is great. If we start at the front of the mower and work our way backwards, then of course the very is the roller. On the roller we have a steel roller, galvanized for rust protection, and we've also got a scraper. So the reason for the scraper is, if particularly you're building up a worm cast, it starts to alter your height of cut. So by setting the scraper down in these two slots here, I can set my scraping so that that doesn't happen. If it's starting to become a problem, and a lot of the time of the year I don't need that scraper is really easily removed. Behind the scraper is a feature that a lot of Allett customers really enjoy, and that is the lawn comb. The lawn comb rakes through the grass as you're mowing. You can independently set the depth at which it rakes. That lines up all the grass, and that gives two advantages. One, I get a nicer, cleaner cut because the grass is presented to the bottom blade so much more neatly, but also striping is all about having the plants all nicely lined up so that as you roll them down, they're rolling directly away from you or directly towards you. So it does help in the striping and how long that stripe lasts. If we get caught out with grass length, you know that one of the big things about a cylinder mower is it's really good at cutting short grass shorter. If the grass gets away from you and becomes quite long, the front roller rolls down the grass before the cylinder can actually get a chance to grab it and cut it. So what we are able to do is optional extra, sorry, not optional extra, but included in the box is a pair of wheels. And these wheels replace the roller, so I can undo the screw on either side and just put the wheel kit on instead, and that just opens up the front entry of the machine so that the grass can go in. And if it's long, although it's not perfect because that's not what a cylinder mower is for, what it does allow you to do is just get back in control of the grass as well if you don't have a rotary mower. The cutting cylinder, of course, is the business end of this machine. With electric drive, the machine becomes so quiet that we felt that we needed to do something about getting much more accurate adjustment of the cylinder and bottom blade. And we've put in a new system which we call the shore blade. And the shore blade is going to give us a much flatter, much more easily adjustable cylinder to bottom blade. At the same time, give very little contact to make the machine quieter than ever before, but still give us the assurance of being able to cut paper or, of course, cut grass as cleanly as we can for best plant health. So to remove the cylinder, it's quite simple. And what you are able to see now is this much thicker, much more durable blade system, which allows us to have much less contact for much quieter mowing, but at the same time this blade is going to be much less disturbed by sticks. I'm not going to say stones, but it's going to make this blade system much more durable, much more easy to set, and therefore much more quiet. And we think that this, in the Stirling in particular, is going to give us absolutely world-beating product against all of our competitors. So that's the shore blade system. That gives us a very significant advantage over the competitors. The other thing which is absolutely critical for the lawn enthusiast that wants to be able to switch from mowing to different cartridges, it needs to be quicker and easier than we've ever had before. And that takes us down to the new Ultra Change system. Ultra Change, we just had to think of something that sounded quicker than our existing quick change system, and this is what it's all about. So the cartridges very simply drop into the machine, and without any tools I'm able to just lock that in. So if you want to give me a bit of a test here, let's just do a time trial from taking that cylinder completely out and putting that back in again. Here we go. And we're ready to mow. The next feature on this product is about really accurate height of cut. And the height of cut is just adjusted on this hand wheel at the side, which lifts and lowers the front roller in the way that we've always done. But in particular, our customers have been asking for much more clear indication of our height of cut. And so on the scale at the side here, we have the one scale on this side, which gives us 2 millimeter our height of cut when we have our cylinder in, and then on the other side, when we put our cultivation cartridges in, it will show us what depth we're working at with those cartridges. So we call this the height right system, and we really do believe your height will always be right. Mowing heights with the 6-bladed cylinder are adjustable. Minimum height of cut 5 millimeters, that's just under 1/4 of an inch, to a maximum height of cut of 50 millimeters, which is 2 inches. Cultivations, you can adjust down to 10 millimeters to give us this additional amount of cultivation if we choose to use it and the time is right, and that is of particular advantage when cultivating, trying to reduce some of our weeds. We're using the Ego 56 volt battery platform with the Stirling. Within the battery bay there is a switch which just allows us to remove the battery from the battery bay. The battery comes in several different energy levels. The machine is intended to come with a 5 amp hour battery, but there are also 7.5 amp hour and 10 amp hour batteries that you can get for this machine. Their Keep Cool technology is particularly important to us, not only for working in warmer climates than in the UK, but also just because if you're working this machine really hard, then the battery needs to stay cool. That inserts into the battery bay just by clicking it in, and the other beauty with this battery system is that it has an indicator here. I can just press the button and I can see how full the battery is. But the nice thing about that is once it's in its location and I'm operating from the mower, my eye line looks directly at the battery indicator. And while the battery is being used, that indicator is constantly alight, and I don't have to have separate dials on my machine. I'm just using each individual battery and its own inbuilt indicator, so I know what the charge level is. The battery, of course, is all about sustainable lawns. Sustainability because there's no petrol, I don't have to go and fetch it in my car, I don't need to store it. There are issues in some countries, and particularly here in the UK, we're now using E10 fuel, and that definitely with its water absorption does create starting problems and even running problems. So we think that the E10 fuel introduction in small garden machinery and small plant is actually to the battery system. It's just going to give us such greater reliability and none of these starting problems that we now become quite used to. So sustainability, no fuel, the system is just so much quieter than we've ever produced before. It's cheaper to run, to go for a recharge on this battery than it is to be buying fuel. The alternative on electric, of course, is to have cables, which are always very difficult to manage, particularly in a bigger garden, so we don't have any of that. And we can build in so much more control, and I'm going to talk about the control that we've built in when we get to the handlebars of the system. And electric as well is just so much better balanced that the handlebars aren't vibrating and causing problems with our hands, whether it be vibration, white finger, or really causing our arthritis to feel worse next day. At end of life, of course, us and our retailers are participating in battery take-back schemes as well. So you can just send this straight back to the people you bought this from, and they'll process this battery in the way that's necessary. The charging of these batteries, standard charger for a 5 amp hour battery like this will take about 100 minutes to recharge. There are also rapid chargers as well, and the rapid charger will charge this in 40 to 50 minutes, which is pretty much the time it takes to discharge the battery. Next I want to talk about the rear roller. So we've done some special work on the rear roller. Normally on an electric drive system, when you push or pull the roller, the mower, that it would be trying to drive the electric motor. And we wanted to make this machine so much easier and lighter to use that we've built in a really special drive system so that you're not having to drive that motor. And as you can see, it really is very easy. If there was resistance on that roller created by turning that motor as well, then it would be more likely to be scuffing the turf as we do that. Well, what advantage does that actually give us? What it means is that when I'm getting to the end of a run, I'm able to take my thumb off the drive button and actually just gently push the mower till I get to the end without having to crash into anything. When I get to the end of the row, I can also pull back the mower really easily in order to do a turn. And again, that just reduces the amount of scuffing that's going on as well. The mower, of course, has all the normal advantages that we expect in the Allett rear roller. So we have a split rear roller on this 20-inch machine and on the 17-inch machine, and both are able to turn separately. When I drive that, well, this is the beauty of an electric machine, I don't have to worry about any spillage of fuel here, that what I'm able to do is to get constant drive to the roller. But what I am able to do is to not create scuffage as I turn around at the end, making sure that I'm not wearing the turf out when I'm mowing as regularly as I need to do to get the great lawn that I want. The other feature is that we've designed the roller so that it extends beyond the end plate. And that means that I can pull this up so easily where I've got curbs or edges or steps that I need to move the mower up, that I can actually pull this up to the step and then just lift it up on the roller without having to pick up the whole mower. The handlebar controls on this machine as well is taking comfort and control of the mower to brand new levels. To start with, I can adjust the heights just simply by moving this lever to the height position. I'm also able to telescope the handlebars like so, and I can clip those back off again. I particularly like the high position. I'm 6 foot tall and this is, if anything, high for me. But when I'm stood at this position with the mowing, then I can see the cylinder and I'm lining that up as well with my last run. So I am able to get much greater levels of overlap accuracy as well when I'm standing in this position. The handlebar angles and where I grip is so much more comfortable. My natural position for my hands is exactly how I grip this mower, and my controls are all around my hand position. To engage the cylinder, I press down this button in the middle, nice and big, even with gloves on, and pull the bail bar up. And that engages my cylinder drive. If I let everything go, then everything fails to safe and I get regen braking on the cylinder as well, so that locks off and stops very much more quickly than you would normally expect. My rear roller drive is actually incorporated into 2 buttons on the handlebar. The 2 buttons, so I can use either my left or my right hand, and again, even with gloves, these are very easy to engage. And just by pressing these buttons, engages my drive to go forward. More importantly, and when we talked about controllability of this mower, I've got forward speed control. And that is nice big grip on this, and we're calling this the rotor shift system from Allett, and that allows me to either pre-select my speed from off all the way to maximum speed. Maximum speed on this machine is faster, and that is 3.5 miles an hour or 5.6 kilometers an hour. That is a good walking pace behind a mower, and it's unlikely you're going to need that maximum speed, but it's there if you need it. You can slow down and speed up as you're mowing, so as you come into areas that are maybe more congested or more difficult to maneuver in, you can just slow the mower right down, and when you want to go back out into the open again and really get the pace up, you can adjust that via the rotor shift. You can increase your speed. I can touch either of these buttons on either side, so even if it was my one hand was to get tired, or if I want to control the mower with one hand rather than the other, I'm completely able to do that and do it really easily. When I put the mower handles into the top position, that actually stops the mower from working completely and I can't engage any drive, so let's call that the storage position. And what I'm also able to do is to be able to tip the mower back into a really solid position like this, and that allows me and gives me complete openness at the back here to be able to make any adjustments either to the rake, the roller, or my blade adjustments, so I can see exactly what's going on in here. Let's talk now about the range of cartridges we can fit in. Like I've said, to get a great lawn you need to cylinder mow it, but there's more than that, and that's why we have this complete lawn care system all built into one. And each one of these cartridges does a slightly different job to give us different results depending on the time of year and what we want to achieve. The first and most popular cartridge is this spring-tined cartridge here. We call this the scarifier. The scarifier, of course, drops in, changes over in 15 seconds or less in this machine, and these gentle tines just rake out loose material and stand weed grasses and the grasses we want upright. Really versatile tool, and also works really well at collecting leaves off the surface along with pine needles and to some extent pine cones and acorns, for instance, to keep our lawn nice and clean. The next cartridge is the vertical cartridge. This cartridge makes vertical cuts into the soil, and now that we can go deeper, the results we get are quite amazing with this, and it can of course be used for opening up a slot for overseeding as well, depending on what we're trying to achieve. But really a great cartridge, cutting stolons and rhizomes to get new growth in itself really keeps the lawn very healthy. A more aggressive cartridge, you can see these hooked blades. These hooked blades go into the soil and really fetch and remove thatch out of the surface. We've got a new brush for the Stirling. This brush is more dense and is great for when we have worm casts, removing and levelling out worm casts. It's also very good for incorporating top dressing into the soil, into the sward, and also on a cricket wicket it's really great for levelling out as well because it's just that much more aggressive. It can be used on hard surfaces because now we can get the lower heights of cut as well, and we need to do some more work with that to find out actually exactly what we are able to do or not with that. We have an aerator cartridge as well. This cartridge is not driven, it doesn't have a pulley on the side, and if you've got a particularly delicate thatch that if you were to use any of these cartridges until you get your lawn really healthy, then you can use this aerator cartridge. It just rolls as you drive forward, and that just puts a small amount of spikes into the surface to start to get that thatch layer to allow the water through and to start to reduce it so that we can then start to use more aggressive cartridges in themselves. And then finally, if I want a really fine cut, then and a low cut, then I can go for the 10-bladed cylinder. The 10-bladed cylinder now for the Stirling has the shore blade system, but we've feathered off this front edge to be able to get much lower, and now we can get down to 3mm mowing height with this system, and this is really good for greens and wickets, or people who want to have a golf green in their backyard. So in conclusion, what does the Stirling offer now to the lawn enthusiast? This is an expensive machine, but what you're able to achieve with it is like nothing that there is available on the market for the price that this is. It's about the highest levels of accuracy. It's about the tools that you need that a greenkeeper or a groundsman has available to him, you now have available within your own lawn. You are going to be able to take your lawn to a new level, but do it with greater levels of comfort, greater levels of control, variable speed, variable depth. We're very proud of this product, and we really hope that you can get to your garden machinery dealer and see one of these products in action. Thanks ever so much for watching, we really appreciate it, and you can get more information from our website at www.allett.co.uk. So I hope you enjoyed that product video. You'll see why we're so excited about this now. And what we're going to do now is go over to Sean Etherington, who has been lead engineer on this product and has been living this product for the last 2 years. So over to Sean. Sean, thanks ever so much for joining us for this launch video, and we felt it was really important that we spoke to you about this because you are the father of this product as the lead design engineer on it. One of the big things that customers are going to benefit from is the auto-change cartridge system. So I know you put a lot of work into that. Tell us what you think customers are going to like about that.
Well, I really hope it's well received because this is something that we targeted a long time ago and really focused on the specification and brief in terms of simplicity and making it completely toolless. And the current system isn't a chore, but we just want it to make it that much easier so people are more likely to use our cartridge system and ultimately achieve that great lawn with the Allett range of cartridges that are available.
Sure. I've been using this now for several months, and I just love the way that I can just choose to change over really quickly from mowing to verticutting, even just a small area.
That's right.
I just think that the whole way that you can change that over so quickly is absolutely awesome. Right. The height of cut mechanism as well, I'm really loving that.
Yep.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, again, we wanted to keep that as clean and as crisp as possible with accuracy at the heart of the design, really. As well as simplicity and speed.
I love the indication on it as well. So if I choose I'm going to drop down to 15 mil, I can just choose 15 mil, see it on the dial instead of the old 1, 2, 3, 4 numbers that didn't mean anything.
That's right.
So I love the styling, and it's so clear and compact as well.
Yeah.
I am absolutely loving that. So the glide drive system I think is
Yep.
absolutely amazing, and you don't even know it's there, you just know the mower just feels so much lighter as a result of having it there. Just tell us about the glide drive mechanism and what it gives.
Yes, it's a really complex, clever little mechanism actually, which allows the motor to overrun as the user is pushing and pulling, which is obviously great for turning corners, manoeuvring, pulling out the shed, small things that we don't necessarily think about all the time, but it's just so obvious when you're using the machine.
Yeah, the glide drive for me is especially in large areas where it's just pushing and pulling so easily, it's about fatigue. But I think also in the small areas that I can use a 20-inch machine in quite a small area, but because it's so easy to pull around, I'm not in danger of slipping over when I'm pulling it back. That I think that really is something that customers won't even know that it's happening. It's just easy to use. So I think that is a real testament to a beautiful design feature. So talk to me about the styling a little bit as well, because it looks fantastic and it looks the part. Tell me, what were you thinking about?
Well, we just thought with this product it's a really good opportunity to just freshen up the brand, try and keep the traditional values as well. We've got the lovely Ego battery as a great datum in this, and we just tried to keep it as robust and as fresh looking as possible, which is actually quite a challenge. It's been through a few iterations, this product now, and hopefully we've got something that the customers will be happy with.
We're loving the look of it. I think you've kept the essence of a traditional cylinder mower, but at the same time it has a really modern, purposeful feel as well to it. I think you really have captured that so beautifully. It really does look great. So finally, of course, you're getting into your lawn as well, and I understand that you took one of these machines home with a cultivation cartridge in to do something this autumn. So
I did.
Tell us what you used and how did that go for you?
Well, it's quite an adventure. I thought I've worked in the lawn industry for sort of 15 years now, and I thought it's finally time to have a dabble into lawn renovation. And yes, I took the machine home with a suite of cartridges, completely scalped, scarified, raked, overseeded, levelled the lawn.
I'm really glad that you're using the products as well and you understand the features.
Yeah, I think it's important to understand what a customer wants and get that user perspective.
Yeah, good. Sean, the grass collectors is quite a new innovation for us. We've never designed a grass collector like that before. Talk us through your thought processes when you were designing that and why you've done it in this way.
Yeah, of course. We're obviously gone for a steel frame wire mesh concept. Something we thought about for a long time. It's, as you say, it's quite a step away from the large moulded boxes we have at the minute. As you can see, it's very lightweight. It locates simply on these two little lugs here. We've got a large, lovely aperture here for other clippings to throw through, which gives the user great visibility. Obviously empties nicely. Performance-wise, we believe this mesh actually helps with the airflow generated by the cartridges, really throwing all the fill to the back of the box. And I think it looks quite fresh.
It looks great, and I have to say that one of the things that I really love in a mower is when it fills the grass box right full, and I think the combination of all those things you've said, it fills it right up, so
That's
it's
right.
less trips to the wheelie bin to empty out, which of course is what we want when we're in a hurry. So it looks great, and it is unconventional, but I think all of those benefits you've got are really, you've encapsulated them all in that design, so good.
Okay.
Sean, thanks ever so much for talking to us, and it's really great to get your perspective on the product. I know you've been working on this for 2 years, sort of night and day, and I know there's sleepless nights involved when you're a design engineer, so thanks ever so much. You've done a really great job. I've really enjoyed using the product myself, and I'm really hoping the customers are going to pick that up too. Thanks ever so much. Right, thanks for that. That's really interesting. Now what we're going to go to is a short interview. We use our trusted customers that we know are going to give these products a hard time and really look at the detail. And we've had these products with our pioneer customers. They look at the product and use it and try and break it so that we make sure that by the time we get to launch that we have the features exactly as we want them and that they're reliable. So this is a quick interview with Mark Marshall. Mark has a business called Lawn Stripes and Hedges in Macclesfield in England. He started a business that was really focused on using electric products for garden maintenance. And as his company name describes, lawn stripes are the things that he delivers for his customers. It's been really great to take one of these Stirlings, and let's see what he thought about that. Cheshire to see Mark Marshall and his business Lawn Stripes and Hedges. Mark's been testing the Stirling product range for us before we go to launch to see whether it does everything we want it to do and to see whether it's going to last.
Hi, I'm Mark Marshall from Lawn Stripes and Hedges. I'm an eco-friendly garden maintenance company in Cheshire.
Mark, Lawn Stripes and Hedges has a really unusual proposition, and that is an all-electric machinery deal for your customers. Tell us what your customers think about that.
So when I first started out, a lot of them were surprised when I first got my electric tools out. They were like, "Oh, do you not need an extension lead?" I know that the battery powered, and then once it kind of started going, I had customers ringing me. I had two literally ladies around the corner of here rang me because I'm eco-friendly, because I use batteries. So from the customer's perspective, a good feedback. A lot of them were surprised, and from like people in the industry, they was like very doubtful of. They're telling me, "Oh, you shouldn't do that. You'd be wasting your time." But I've used battery powered stuff for 24 months now, and I don't think I would never go back to like a petrol machine.
And Mark, I bet your customers are really enjoying the quietness of the electric products.
It was more in the summer. In the summer I used the Liberty quite a lot, because I could get out early in the morning at 7, get my day done quite early and then spend time with the family. So from a general day-to-day use, it worked out very beneficial for me, really.
And Mark, you were talking earlier about your vans and what you're going to be doing about that.
My main goal is to have 10 vans on the road, all eco-friendly, all doing garden maintenance, all doing lawn care. Just because there's no one really in my industry that are fully eco-friendly, so that's kind of what made me push towards it, as well as like it's great for the environment. And with everything going on in the world at the minute, I think it's my time. Well, not just mine. I think it's everybody's job to kind of strive to be a little better, really.
Mark, we really agree with you and your vision for your business. It's absolutely great to hear that you've got such a firm idea of what your vision is for your business going forward. So what we've done with you, Mark, is we know that you use machinery really hard, you use it for your living, and so we thought you would be absolutely ideal to take one of these electric Liberty products before we go to launch, and you can give it a really good hard time, see if you can break it. And also we want to hear from you what sort of ideas you have about how good the product is and if there's any areas of improvement before we go to launch.
When I first obviously asked me to trial it, in regards to like cutting the grass, I know that's your bread and butter, so I'd high hopes of going into using it as the normal general cutting cartridge. What really surprised me was the different cartridges and the new way of getting them off so quick. It made my job so much easier, and it actually changed my perspective of the actual mower itself, because I went into it, I should have gone into it with an open head, but I've gone into it thinking, oh, it's, the scarifying cartridge isn't going to be any good, or the brush isn't going to be any good, or the dethatcher's not going to be any good. But when I actually run it against my other machines, it actually did a little bit better than them, to be honest, which surprised me.
Yeah, and I really love the way that these machines collect so well. It's just so much less clearing up afterwards.
It's so obviously when it's done and it's fully developed, I won't need to carry my scarifier with me, so that takes up like the size of a lawnmower in my van, and all the other, for how small them little cartridges are, you kind of just need one mower to do the job, so it makes it just a lot better for me, really.
Lawn stripes are obviously really important to your business. You've even included lawn stripes in the name of your business, and your customers, these are amazing and beautiful homes that you're maintaining here in Prestbury, near Macclesfield. But we also want to know about what you think about the cartridges. The auto change cartridge changed so very quickly now. How are you going to be using these?
Yeah, it takes 5 seconds to swap them over. So for me, it's can't really put a price on it. Obviously there's going to be a price on it, but for how quick it makes my day go, you can't put a price on that, because although the machine might cost a little bit more than what it would a petrol machine, in reality you've got 5-6 machines there for one machine. So my scarifier would cost me 1,500 quid to buy, whereas if I get the cartridge for this, whatever it may be, it's still not going to be that much. So although yes, it may be a little bit more, when you add them up, it's 5 machines. So if you bought 5 separate machines, you'd be talking nearly £10,000. So it's good, really.
And you've got to fit all these into your van as well.
Yeah, and I mean, I've got a few vans, but I'd need 20 for every single machine. Yeah.
And how are you going to fit all these cartridges into your van?
I've already got a setup, so when you open my van, you can get 5 cartridges per side. One side, because the other side I've got storage, so I can get 5 and 2 on the other. So you're not always going to use them cartridges every day, but what I was mentioning before, I went to a job and I thought, I could do with giving this a light scarification, and I didn't have the cartridge because I had my other van being sign written, so it annoyed me, because I thought, I wish I would have had that cartridge now, because it would have been nice to have it there and then. And
do you have a favourite cartridge?
Yes, the dethatcher. The reason it's my favourite is because I run it against my petrol scarifier, and it, apart from a few little niggly things what I spoke about, it's much better, which surprised me, and I thought it'd not do the task what my other one did, but it did, really.
And even just talking to you before the interview started, you must have given us 10 new ideas for cartridges. So this is really good for us when you're testing products. It gives us some great ideas for future products. And the scarifier cartridge is the favourite of our customers. Did you use that one as well?
Yeah, I've used that. I liked it. What I really like about it is, moss in everybody's gardens are a constant battle. And I do a lot of my either renovations at the end of the year or the start of the year. But the ones that I do, like this one at the start of the year, I wouldn't really want to go and run my big petrol scarifier over it. So with that scarifier, it just completely eradicates that. So I can go over this lawn once a month if I need to, just to keep on top of stuff like the moss and thatch build up. So yeah, I can certainly see why it is people's favourite.
And the new handlebars, Mark, what did you think of those?
I love the fact how well together it feels. So I use a variety of different of manufacturers, and that's the first mower that I felt that feels like it could last forever. And I've got some other expensive brands as well, but it just doesn't feel solid.
And I like the rotor shift feature on the handlebars as well, where I can change the speed on the move. I like it particularly because I can change the speed and go really slowly when I'm using the cultivation cartridges.
Yeah, no, I love that as well. I love the fact because I love it because you scarify and you cut at different kind of speeds, so it's just easy. The fact that it's just on the handlebar just to change, which is really good.
And the height right system, Mark, that's the height of cut adjustment system. You'll be adjusting the height of cut really regularly, switching from mowing and back to cultivations now that that's so easy. What do you think of that?
Really like it. I would probably have it as quick as your release cartridge, so maybe a handle that you can move it, but it's much faster than the limiter. Yeah, it is really good because when you scarify in, it's quick, because if you're too high, you need to drop it. It's dead easy to use, but if you had like a handle like you did on the other side, it'd make it much quicker than using the roller. But I don't know how accurate it'd be in that sense as well.
And the grass collector, we've gone away from our normal plastic moulded system. What do you think of that? And do you think it's going to be durable enough for somebody that uses the machine as hard as you do?
Yeah, definitely. The style of it is much better. It's much more eco-friendly because it's not plastic. So I'm all for that. I would make it a little bit bigger for someone in my trade, but for like a general home owner, it's brilliant, really.
Mark, a lot of our customers are petrol engine users and they are a little bit reluctant to go over to battery. You're talking about a vision of 10 vans, 10 teams of people. That's going to mean a lot of batteries. Tell me how you're going to work with that. I
had the same kind of opinion when I went into it, but for me, the environment, although sounds really corny, it means a lot more to me than the difficulties of going forward with battery. So right now, is petrol better than battery? Me personally, no. And I know you have like difficulties with charging, but I have a setup in my van. So when I back my van up to my house, plug it in and it charges all my batteries. Batteries, yes, they're expensive, but when you take into consideration I don't need to service it, the engine, and not going to have a problem with if I'm on the job, the engine might go, or you might have issues with it, spillages on customers' lawns if the engine was to go. So all the problems that petrol have, it goes away then when you go into the battery side of things. You know, I don't have to get up in the morning and travel to a petrol station, make sure that I've got a jerry can full of fuel in my van, or and then if the jerry can spills in my van, I've not got all them issues that I once had as completely gone now. So it's not where it needs to be in regards to right now, but I'd rather be in the movement of actually trying and be that person that says, you know what, I don't want to have to change in 10 years' time because the government are making a change. I'd rather say, well, I'm already there, and let other people catch up. So I'd rather be ahead of the game than behind it, as they say. With my customers, I think for them it's a little bit like fresh. It's very fresh for the customer because you're not using any chemicals in the garden. I'm fully like eco-friendly in regard to my tools and my fertilisers. I try to keep everything as organic as possible. So the customers' side of things, I think they're just happy someone's actually trying. And when you've got a lot of customers like that have whether they're elderly or a new customer, if they've got someone in the garden that cares about the environment, they're going to care about the garden, and they're going to be a bit more respectable in that sense, rather than turning up flying through everything with a petrol mower or whatever it may be. So I think it's just very fresh for the customer.
So we can find you on Instagram?
Yeah, so I'm on Instagram, Facebook. I've just won top 3 landscapers in Cheshire, which I got yesterday, which is great. Again, that's just because of the vision that I'm trying to succeed in, so which is good.
That's great. We're really proud to be associated with you, Mark, your business and your sustainable vision. We really align on what it is that you want to achieve. And thanks so much for giving the machine a really good try and for giving us all your really candid opinions on the Stirling. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, It's like I say, I spoke to you at the start of the year, and I wanted this machine before it had even come out. So like in my head, I was like, well, I want the Allett, but a Liberty, sorry, but I want to use it every day. And I did try, and although the Liberty is an amazing mower for my own garden, I needed something that was a bit more robust, and they didn't make one. So the fact that you've picked the thoughts out of my head and made it, it's just brilliant for me.
That's really great, Mark. Thanks ever so much. We're going to let you get on now and earn your living, and we're going to watch you do a bit of grass cutting and scarifying. Thanks again, and good luck with the business. Thanks, Mark. Thanks for testing that and for all the feedback that we got from you as well to make sure that this product was going to be as good as it is. Thanks for watching this video. It's really important to us. You can watch the product video that you saw earlier. Please tell your friends and send links to that video so that we can share this news with more people. Tomorrow we're going to be at the Saltex show. We've also got a slot, a 15-minute slot, where we're going to be in the Eco Village, which is an initiative that Saltex have to show and push environmentally friendly products. So we'll be doing presentations at 12:30 both tomorrow and the following day to talk through these products. So if you are at the Saltex show, please make sure that you come along and see us. As of tomorrow, you're going to be able to buy these products either from our website, or you can of course go to your local dealer, or you can go to your national distributor. You can find the details of all of those people that if you go to our website, go to the bottom of the page and it says Global Dealer Locator. We are limited in the production of these machines. We are only making 500 of these machines next year. So it is going to be limited availability, but please push ahead if you decide that you want one of those. Wouldn't these make a great Christmas present for somebody? And thanks ever so much for watching, and I hope to see you at the Saltex show tomorrow.
Perfekt. Wir sind wieder
zurück.
Wir sind zurück, beziehungsweise wir müssen uns jetzt einmal größer machen. Genau. Wir sind zurück. Ich hoffe, es hat euch gefallen, die Produktpräsentation einmal. Und jetzt gehen wir gerne auf ein paar Fragen einfach ein.
Hello, I'm Austin Jarrett from Allett Mowers. Today we just want to shoot.
Sorry, da ist noch ein Video angegangen.
Falls jetzt Fragen reinkommen, euch einfallen, was unklar ist, was ihr wissen wollt, einfach jetzt in den Live-Chat rein und dann können wir das mit euch klären.
Genau, pass auf. Also wir könnten eigentlich gern von oben gehen. Genau, Sound ist okay. Interesse wäre Preis und Verfügbarkeit. Genau, das Preis könnt ihr jetzt gerne auf unserer Webseite einsehen oder konntet ihr jetzt auch schon einsehen. Das ist der Preis. Und Verfügbarkeit, es gibt maximal 500, also insgesamt 500, weltweit 500. Von dem her, wenn ihr einen möchtet, ein Allett Stirling, dann solltet ihr euch auf jeden Fall direkt auf die Warteliste setzen. Das könnt ihr direkt auf unserer Webseite auch schon machen. Unten gibt es eine Warteliste. Das können wir euch nachher gerne zeigen, wie ihr das macht. Da könnt ihr euch gerne draufsetzen direkt. Kommt ihr mehr auch mit Unebenheiten klar? Ja, auf jeden Fall. Also du hast ja auch gerade gesehen, so das letzte Video von dem, der das nutzt fürs Business. Ich glaube, alle Rasenflächen waren auch nicht topfeben, sondern die hatten auch Unebenheiten und es funktioniert auch ohne Probleme. Es kommt darauf an, natürlich, wie groß die Unebenheiten auch sind. Wie viel Quadratmeter schafft der Akku? Der Akku schafft das Mähen von dem Spindelmäher. Man kann mit diesem Akku circa 30 bis 40 Minuten mähen. Es kommt natürlich auch immer darauf an, was für ein Akku auch drin ist. Es gibt auch unterschiedliche Größen und Quadratmeterzahl von 380 bis 450 Quadratmeter. Also 380 bis 450 Quadratmeter sind auf jeden Fall gar kein Problem. Mit dem Mäher, aber auch größer. Also ist in der Range vom Kensington 20 Zoll, das kann man da vergleichen. Okay. Entscheidungshilfe bei bitte Spindelmäher oder Roboter. Also wenn dir wirklich Rasen richtig wichtig ist und du da richtig Spaß dran hast, dann würde ich dir auf jeden Fall einen Spindelmäher empfehlen. Natürlich, weil wenn du nochmal selber mähst und so, das hat nochmal ein ganz anderes Gefühl und mit dem Spindelmäher bekommst du ein deutlich besseres Ergebnis. Erstens mal, der Schnitt wird deutlich schöner, der Rasen wird im Endeffekt, sieht auch deutlich schöner aus am Ende, weil wenn der Schnitt gut ist, dann sieht der Rasen auch besser aus. Das merkt man, das ist echt ein krasser Unterschied meistens. Von dem her würde ich dir auf jeden Fall eigentlich einen Spindelmäher empfehlen, wenn du richtig schicken Rasen möchtest. Und die Streifen natürlich. Nur 500 im Jahr. Ja, nur 500 im nächsten Jahr werden produziert. Deshalb, genau, wenn ihr einen wollt, wie nochmal gesagt, dann setzt euch auf die Warteliste. Ab wann ist der mehr lieferbar? Genau, Warteliste, ganz, ganz wichtig. Ich sage es nochmal. Und dann würde nächstes Jahr, ganz genau können wir euch den Zeitpunkt nicht sagen, weil es eine Manufaktur ist. Und die sind jetzt nicht alle vorproduziert, sondern die werden produziert. Also das braucht auf jeden Fall. Und genau, ich denke, nächstes Jahr, April circa, könnte es dann soweit sein. Aber falls ihr euch auf die Warteliste eingetragen habt, dann geben wir euch natürlich gerne Informationen dazu noch. Genau, noch eine Frage. Was kostet der Ersatzakku? Für einen Ersatzakku haben wir jetzt noch nicht speziell Preise festgelegt. Wenn du natürlich Interesse daran hast und dann auch auf die Warteliste dich zum Beispiel setzt und du unbedingt einen Ersatzakku möchtest, dann können wir dir natürlich da gerne dir Bescheid geben, wie viel der kostet und so weiter und so fort. Vielleicht werden wir auch den Ersatzakku dann noch auf die Webseite machen. Und der Ersatzakku kommt natürlich darauf an, wie viel Ampere er natürlich noch hat. Ob er der große Akku ist mit 10 Ampere oder der mit 10 Ampere oder mit 5 Ampere.
Genau.
So.
Wird der Liberty weiter produziert? Ja, der wird weiterhin im Shop verfügbar sein. Die machen sich ja eigentlich als keine große Konkurrenz zwischen dem Liberty und dem Stirling. Deshalb, der wird ganz weiterhin auch im Programm weiterlaufen.
Absolut, der Stirling, der ist einfach auch von der Professionalität und auch von den Funktionen her, wo er noch hat, einfach ein bisschen professioneller noch, in der professionelleren Schiene. Und das merkt man natürlich auch im Preis, der Unterschied, das ist logisch. Aber natürlich hat auch wieder seine Vorteile, ist einfach Next Level. Der Fangkorb und so weiter, kommt alles zusammen. Das hat Allett wirklich alles Kundenfeedback gesammelt und wirklich in diesen Mäher gepackt und wirklich, das sind sehr, sehr viele Wünsche, die wir auch immer wieder gehört haben, sind in dem Mäher beantwortet oder einfach reingebaut worden, diese Wünsche. Und von dem her denke ich, dass es wirklich eigentlich ein perfekter Mäher ist für das. Also wenn man das noch nicht ganz im Liberty gefunden hat, was man wollte, dann ist der Stirling eigentlich der perfekte Mäher.
Genau, ich würde sagen, wir zeigen euch das jetzt am besten einfach mal noch kurz auf dem Shop.
Ach, natürlich.
Genau.
Eine Sekunde. Ich werde euch das einmal im Shop zeigen. Genau. Da gehen wir einmal in unseren Shop rein. Genau, hier sehen wir einmal in unserem Shop. Ich muss mal ganz kurz gucken, wie es uns anzeigt. Hier unten,
Genau,
das reicht eigentlich auch.
Ja.
Oder wir können es schon nebendran eigentlich machen. Man muss es ja, obwohl. Ich mache es lieber so. Pass auf, hier ist der Shop. Und jetzt, wenn ihr einfach unter Allett Shop geht, da sind alle Allett-Sachen. Turbogrün sind natürlich unsere Herbstdünger und so weiter. Wenn ihr jetzt unter den Allett Shop geht, einmal könnt ihr einfach oben direkt draufklicken. Dann findet ihr hier einmal den Spindelmäher schon hier oben. Ihr findet auch die ganzen Wechselkassetten da dazu noch. Genau, sind ja neue Wechselkassetten. Die 10-Blatt-Spindel und die 6-Blatt, die verbaut ist, hat auch es ist einfach nochmal verstärkter, also nochmal sicherer gegen zum Beispiel gegen Äste, wenn Äste rumliegen und so weiter und so fort. Also nochmal stabiler das Ganze und nochmal verbessert. Und haben vor allem hier diese, wie nennt man das? Diese Übertragungsrolle beziehungsweise der Adapter dafür, dass man hier dieses Ultra-Change, haben sie es ja genannt, also dieses sehr, sehr schnelle Wechseln machen kann. Aber ihr seht auch hier unten, wir können umrüsten. Also falls ihr alte Kassetten habt, könnt ihr umrüsten in die neuen Und auch andersrum könnt ihr machen, falls ihr sagt, ihr wollt jetzt doch die neuen Kassetten auch auf euren Liberty, dann geht das auch natürlich. Also es geht beides. Da haben wir so Umrüstsets im Endeffekt dann verfügbar bald. Genau, wir gehen jetzt einmal da drauf und dann seht ihr auch schon hier den Allett Stirling. Ihr seht hier die unterschiedlichen Modelle. Natürlich sind sie nicht verfügbar. Preis könnt ihr auch sehen und im Endeffekt hier auch die Information, Warteliste in der Beschreibung. Hier unten könnt ihr euch dann für die Warteliste eintragen, einfach hier aufklappen und hier draufklicken. Wenn ihr auf den Link klickt, dann öffnet sich einfach ein neues Fenster und da werdet ihr dann durchgeführt. Das öffne ich jetzt, glaube ich, nicht, das passt. Da könnt ihr einfach drauf, da werdet ihr durchgeführt und da wird dann alles einmal abgefragt, was wir brauchen und dann können wir natürlich gerne auch per E-Mail weiterhin Kontakt haben oder wir können natürlich auch nochmal einen Termin vereinbaren per Telefon. Das passt dann auch. Genau. Danke. Zusatzfrage, wann erhaltet ihr wieder Liberties? Genau. Liberties erhalten wir, eigentlich Plan ist es, dass wir die dieses Jahr noch erhalten, aber es könnte auch sein, dass wir die Anfang nächstes Jahr dann vollends erhalten. Auf jeden Fall reicht es zur nächsten Saison. Da werden auf jeden Fall die Liberties dann wieder da sein. Da sind wir gerade dran. Genau. Aber da geben wir euch dann auch gerne nochmal Bescheid. Ist ein Nachfolger im Liberty-Segment geplant? Davon wissen wir jetzt momentan noch nichts. Aber ich denke, Allett ist da ständig auf dem aktuellen neuesten Stand, schaut immer wieder, ob sie was optimieren können und sind bestimmt auch an sowas wieder dran. Sobald wir da was wissen, beziehungsweise sobald es da was Handfestes gibt, dann geben wir das euch natürlich gerne weiter. Mega cool. Falls ihr gerade noch weitere Fragen habt ich mache uns ein bisschen größer, zum Spindelmäher, zum Stirling heißt sie jetzt, ja.
Stellt sie gerne. Und wenn nicht, dann...
Ich habe noch eine Info, wenn nicht, dann machen wir natürlich auch Schluss, ist schon spät, ne? Aber eine Info habe ich noch zum Liberty. Ich habe jetzt gerade Info bekommen, dass die wahrscheinlich übernächste Woche dann verfügbar sind bei uns auf Lager. Und genau, sobald die verfügbar sind, kommt natürlich nochmal Info, aber sobald die verfügbar sind, werden sie auf dem Shop wieder freigeschalten. Dann kann man sie auch kaufen, beziehungsweise auf die Warteliste kannst du dich auch jetzt schon setzen lassen. Der Liberty 35 Ausdünger verfügbar. Kommt eine geriffelte Frontrolle. Die geriffelte Frontrolle ist jetzt, wie ihr jetzt im Video gesehen habt, nicht direkt dabei. Aber wir werden auf jeden Fall uns dran machen und auch in Planung ist die schon, dass wir die anbieten, diese geriffelte Frontrolle, wenn ihr die gerne möchtet. Und das ist auf jeden Fall in Planung. Ja, also in Planung ist es. Super. Genau, gut. Wenn es noch weitere Fragen gibt, noch schnell rein. Es sind noch ein paar online. Aber ansonsten ist ja echt spät durch die Zeitverschiebung. Ne? In England ist es jetzt erst 8:30, bei uns ist 9:30. Das ist mega spät.
Lasst gerne jetzt auch nochmal einen Daumen nach oben da auf dem Livestream, abonniert den Kanal, um keine weiteren Videos zum Thema Allett, Rasenvideos generell zu verpassen. War auf jeden Fall richtig cool. Ich hoffe, euch hat das Ganze gefallen. Ihr seid, eure Erwartungen konnten hoffentlich erfüllt werden, was jetzt für einen neuen Spindelmäher rauskam.
Und gerne machen wir natürlich auch nochmal einen speziellen Livestream über den Allett Stirling, wo wir vielleicht euch den auch nochmal von unserer Seite aus erklären und nochmal vorstellen. Das können wir auf jeden Fall gerne machen. Das wäre eine gute Idee, glaube ich. Und ansonsten natürlich, sobald wir ihn dann auch da haben, natürlich werden wir dann auch nochmal ein cooles Video drüber machen. Das ist auf jeden Fall ganz klar. Sehr gut. Perfekt.
Gut, dann passt es. Dann würde ich sagen, wir wünschen euch einfach jetzt noch einen schönen restlichen Abend, schöne restliche Woche und spätestens nächste Woche Samstag sehen wir uns ja wieder hier im Livestream zurück mit einem neuen coolen Rasenthema und bis dahin, ja.
Ja, vielen Dank für die coole Aktion. Ja, gar kein Problem, machen wir super gerne, macht uns Spaß. Dann wünschen wir einen schönen Abend.
Also,
ja,
ciao.
Ciao, tschüss.